If you thought Outlander couldn't tug at your heartstrings any harder, episode 10 proved you wrong. Packed with emotional goodbyes, shocking twists, and game-changing setups, this episode had me crying one minute and gasping the next. Like, seriously, can this show give me a break from these emotional roller coasters? I don't think I can take it anymore. Unfortunately, based on what we know so far, it seems like episode 11 will have a similar outlook with even more devastating scenes. So, without further ado, let's talk about it. First, we should remember what happened in episode 10 so that we can understand episode 11 better. The episode kicks off with one of Outlander's most heartbreaking moments, aka Ian's death. Jamie and Ian share a tender conversation, reflecting on their brotherly bond. Jamie assures Ian of his love, carrying him to his deathbed as Ian murmurs his final word, Jenny, to his wife. As if that wasn't enough, Jamie digs Ian's grave himself. I mean, this is already too much. Like, we were only a few minutes into the show, and I was already crying. Unbelievable. Despite his loss, Jamie promises his sister Jenny that he'll stay to support her, despite missing Claire so much. And this will be an important issue later on. What were your thoughts on Jamie and Ian's final scene together? Did you also tear up? Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, back in Philadelphia, young Ian had one goal for the entire episode, to reunite with Rachel. But before love can prevail, since this is Outlander, of course, danger struck. Archbug, fueled by vengeance for his wife's accidental death, targets Rachel to hurt Ian. The confrontation was absolutely intense, with Ian fighting to save Rachel and taking a brutal wound in the process. Just as all seems lost, William Ransom arrives, thank God, shooting Bug and basically saving the day. So good things are also happening in the series. It is not all sadness and sorrow, right? Ian's injury leads to yet another heartfelt scene though, where he finally confesses his love for Rachel. In English this time. I mean, I don't know what you think, but I'm obsessed with these two's wholesome love story. Rachel, however, proves she is a pragmatist to the core once again and responds with a beautiful metaphor, calling Ian her wolf and vowing to make their unconventional relationship work somehow. And I cannot wait to see them together. While Ian faces danger, Claire's world grows even more complicated. After arriving at Lord John Grey's home, she's thrust into a mix of medical emergencies and political intrigue. Lord John's ward, Henry, is gravely injured, and Claire performs a life-saving surgery with the help of Denzel Hunter. But the episode's emotional weight lands hard when Claire receives a letter from Jamie, announcing he's on his way to Philadelphia. For a second, I thought that this episode was going to end in a good note. Oh boy, was I wrong? As you already know by now, Claire's joy was short-lived to say the least, as news soon arrived that Jamie's ship has sunk, with no survivors reported. The devastating revelation pushed Claire to the brink, and it was just heartbreaking. Like, this woman deserves an Oscar. That's all I'm going to say about it. Claire's despair is palpable, though, as she declares that if Jamie were truly dead, she'd feel it in her soul. And this leaves us with the ultimate question. Is Jamie gone for good, or is there still hope? As if Claire's grief wasn't enough, her troubles escalate when she's accused of being a spy. Jesus. Like, give this woman a break, people. Thankfully, Lord John intervenes, but his offer was also quite depressing, so I don't know if we should be thankful to him or not. He basically offered Claire to marry him to avoid execution. Yep, that just happened. At first, Claire refuses, saying life without Jamie isn't worth living. But Lord John insists. To his credit, he genuinely wants to save Claire's life. After all, her survival is crucial, not just for herself, but for everyone who depends on her, including Ian, Rachel, and Mercy Woodcock. Like, do not hate me for saying this, but even though I can envision an Outlander without Jamie, which would be heartbreaking, of course, but it might still work somehow, I cannot envision a version of an Outlander without Claire in it. But that's just me. As episode 10 leaves us with so many unanswered questions, here's what will happen next. While the show strongly suggests that Jamie's ship was lost a long time, we know better than to take anything at face value. Could Jamie have survived, perhaps washed ashore or rescued by a passing ship? I mean, of course he could. The thing is, the show just spoiled itself by releasing so much behind-the-scenes footage from Season 8. If all those scenes with Jamie in Season 8 were not flashback scenes, then there is a very low chance that Jamie is truly dead. If he's alive, though, his journey back to Claire will be fraught with new challenges, that's for sure. However, if Jamie truly is dead, which is still a possibility despite season 8 evidence, because we all know how much the show loves supernatural stuff, his loss will definitely serve as a turning point for Claire. We've seen her endure unimaginable hardship before, but how would she navigate a life without Jamie's presence? Do you think Jamie's really gone, or will Outlander pull a classic twist? Share your theories below. In the brief promo released by Starz on episode 11, we see Claire saying, "Blood of my blood, what happens now?" Clearly, she tries to reach Jamie's soul somehow and seek for guidance from him. So, there is no good news ahead in the next episode either. Plus, we see Lord John mentioning Jamie as if he already confirmed his death. He says Jamie Fraser was my friend. I mean, those tears in his eyes prove to me that he is truly upset that Jamie is gone. Unfortunately, even with Lord John's intervention, Claire's safety is also far from guaranteed. So, do not be shocked to see both of them gone. If she marries Lord John, it might offer temporary protection, but how would this affect her relationships with Jamie, especially if he's alive, and her community? Alternatively, Claire will find herself embroiled in even greater danger, forced to use her resourcefulness to escape execution, which historically never ended up good for Claire. In the promo, we see Lord John trying to convince Claire for the marriage. He says, "You and I must survive," and adds, "If we have each other, then we have him." Jesus, I'm gonna cry already. It is obvious that John sees Claire as some kind of a relic from Jamie, and he wants to protect her at all costs. And even though I hate the idea of the two getting married, I see where he is coming from. But let me know what you think. Now, on to Ian and Rachel. Since they have confessed their love, their relationship will likely face external pressures. Rachel's Quaker beliefs will clash with Ian's warrior lifestyle from the very beginning. So get ready for a series of clashes between the couple already. Mercy's role as a spy will add even more layers of intrigue. With Claire smuggling a letter to General George Washington, the stakes for both women are higher than ever. Could this mission draw Claire deeper into the Revolutionary War, potentially putting her at odds with British forces, and even Lord John? Oh yes, it could. Trust me, wait and see. For more weekly updates on Outlander, make sure to like and follow. If you want to know what will happen in Season 8, watch the video on the screen.